However, the date seems to be of 16 October 77, since it's part of a compilation of similar documents. And this document is a confession of Peng Chun alias J. My first question to you is whether you can identify this document, and second, if you identify the annotations in the red boxes. And if so, please tell the chamber whose handwriting it is. Witness. Thank you, Mr. President. In the top left red box, it is Son Sen's handwriting, and it reads, already gave one copy to Brother Noon, and the date is 22nd October 77. Thank you, says the President. And to the right, I haven't put in a red box, but it reads PP and half signed. Can you tell the chamber what it meant? Witness. Thank you, Mr. President. The shorthand of PP and half could be used by Son Sen and Brother Noon as well. It reads that the central zone. And now, President, I refer to the fifth document. That is E3/1839, and at KMAEN 00004351, English 00835986, and French 00766985. And the date is 25th October 77. And I have 2 points that I'd like to ask you to confirm, and they are in red boxes, and I believe the second box has already been clarified by you just then, and there is another box to the bottom. So as usual, first tell the chamber whether you identify this document. Second, if you identify the handwriting, and read it to the chamber. Witness. The name on this document is the Lane alias Peep and Division 174. I do not recall any of these particulars. It could be a division that belongs to the central zone. And the annotation in the first top left corner, it is read rather clear, and it reads not yet read thoroughly, and the handwriting belongs to Son Sen. The middle box, it reads PP and half signed, and as I said earlier, it refers to the central zone. And in fact, the third line reads central zone. And for the bottom annotation, it's Son Sen's handwriting, and it reads A copy is given to Brother Noon. President, thank you. And the last document that I'd like you to clarify is E3/3683, and it is on Khmer page at 00174734. English is at 00221781, and French 00289876. Again, please review this document. And the date of this document is 10 October 77. I put a red box around the annotation that is to the bottom left of the page. Please tell the chamber if you identify this document. Second, if you can read the annotation, please read it to the chamber and tell the chamber whose handwriting it is. Witness. Mr. President, allow me to talk briefly about this document. The person who confessed is Mum Chun alias Mai, and I recognize this name, and this person was brought to S21. Chun alias Mai was also a professor like myself. However, since 1968, Brother Mok assigned him to work at the Northwest Zone, and later on he was arrested and sent to S21. As for the annotation in the red box, I can only read the part of it. The first part, I cannot read it. And in the bracket, it reads, Comrade Kiel sent it to Comrade Nyim. And the date is 15 November 77. And in fact, below there it said not yet read. So it's the same handwriting. And as for the owner of the handwriting, in particular the last part is Brother Noon's handwriting. It's bigger and it's easier to read, and the handwriting there is not yet read. I hope I have responded to all your questions. President, thank you. Indeed, you have responded to all the questions that I'd like to ask you. So it's better to clear all these things up. And it is good that you mentioned the big handwriting, which is read, not yet read. And thank you. And Judge Faber, it seems that you want to put a question to the witness. You may proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Witness, most of these documents date to October or November 1977. You said that there was a very important date, which was 15 August 1977, as of which you reported directly to Nunchea. It appears when we read these documents that you are addressing these confessions first to Son Sen. So do these documents refresh your memory in any way regarding the people you would report to and the way things were organized?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to make a detailed response regarding this matter, so it is clear to the chamber. Brother Son Sen departed, left me, that is on the 15th August 77. I did not see him since that date. And the first document that I sent to him was my letter that young interrogator seems to wants to use torture, and that letter was sent to him, rather was given to him before his departure. And later on he wrote a reply, and I knew that Son Sen's handwriting was difficult to read, so I asked my staff to actually type it and made a copy so that interrogators could stick it on the wall in the interrogation room, because that is a document of the party and I do not recall the date of that document. And during the previous proceedings, I wanted to read those letters from Son Sen regarding regarding torture, and I was interviewed by Ratipan for his movie, and he provided me the document. So I recall that that letter was sent to me from Son Sen on the 5th of October 77. So that was later than the 15th of August 77. Upon given the letter given to me by the Tipan, then I recall the date of that document. And Brother Son Sen went to the front battlefield, and whenever 870 required him to attend a meeting or to work in Phnom Penh, he would return at the instruction of Pol Pot, and sometimes he also worked on S-21 documents. I was shown some documents during my testimony or during the proceedings in case 001. And I observed that those documents that he annotated, most of those letters were dated 11 November 77, and I only observed that there was only one document dated 25th November 77. That's why I made my conclusion to the chamber and during my confrontation with Counsel Copper regarding the dates. And I confirmed that Son Sen departed me, but he still worked on some remaining documents at S21. So the three dates include the 5th October 77, 11th of November 77, and lastly 25th November 77. However, as I said, most of the documents that you provided me, the document that S21 sends to 870, and it seems that only one of these documents had his annotation to return, and the date is 9 November 77 from Son Sen. And another document dated 22nd October 77. So these annotations were all made after 15 August 77. And the sixth document, that is E3/3683, Son Sen dated it as 14 November 77, and the handwriting that I concluded that it was Brother Noon's handwriting, dated the 15th of the same month and year. So based on my analysis and my review of those documents, I still stand by my statement that I stopped seeing Son Sen starting from 15 August 77, and these annotations have dates after 15 August 77 because Son Sen was called by 870 to finish off his remaining work. So he worked together with Brother Noon. And I believe my response is detailed.
J'aimerais encore une clarification.
I would like you to make one more clarification. When confessions were addressed by you yourself on the office S21, to whom were they sent? Were they sent to Son Sen? Were they sent to Non Chia? Or they were sent to office 870 without you knowing the real addressee? Do you know to whom the confessions you sent were given?
Thank you, Your Honor. When Son Sen did not go to the battlefield yet, I sent the documents to Son Sen brother Son Sen through messengers, namely Porn and Nguyen. They came frequently to S21 to collect the documents, and on the documents I made a notation that to Brother 62 he used this code when he worked with S21, and on other occasions the code that I used was 89. However, after Son Sen went to battlefield, Tương came to collect the documents. Jim also came to get the documents, and later he changed his name to Sot. They came to collect the documents after Son Sen had gone. So the instructions from the upper echelon were clear concerning who would come to collect the documents, and particularly the documents of S21 that I am referring to. No one dared to come and collect the document without the clear or appropriate instructions from the upper echelon. So those who came to get the documents from me, the first person who came to collect documents after Son Sen had gone was Tương alias Chiu. And Ki, the chief of office K7, messenger of the center, also came to collect the documents. This is concerning the persons who came to collect the documents from me, Your Honor.
Donc, si je résume.
So, if I were to sum up what you've stated before the 15th of August 1977, you gave the documents. Can you hear the translation? That is before the 15th of August 1977. You gave the documents to messengers whom you knew were Son Sen's personal messengers. after the 15th of August 1977, there was a change in the group of messengers, and the messengers at this time were from the center. Did I properly understand your testimony?
ខ្ញុំសូមបញ្ជាក់
You are confused with the date 17 August. How at the time I raised my hand that I wanted to change the date, but you made the correction already, the 15 August. Your summary is correct. Tương and Jiu alias Sot were not the messengers of the center. They were Nuon Chia's messengers.
Bien, donc encore une dernière fois.
Very well. Once again, before the 15th of August 1977, the messengers who came to get the confessions were Son Sen's messengers. After that date, it was Nuon Chia's messengers. Is that correct?
អរគុណ
After that date, yes, messengers of Brother Nguyen, Tương, and Sota came to collect the documents. And there was one time when Nuon Chia went to a visit in China. Bong Ki also came to collect the documents under the instructions of the upper echelon. Not only Tương came to collect the documents after the date 15 August 1977, Bong Ki also came to collect the documents under the instructions of the superiors above.
Sur ces documents, vous avez
On the documents, as regards what is essential, you recognize Son Sen's handwriting. For how long had you known Son Sen's handwriting? You can just answer the question affirmatively and tell me, yes, it is Son Sen's handwriting.
Your Honor, I started to recognize Son Sen's handwriting from 1973. At the time, he issued a laissez-passer to me when I was working at M13. And I told you, I confirmed the handwriting of Son Sen in relation to the date of annotation of 5th October 1977. Again, I started to recognize Son Sen's handwriting from 1973 when he issued a laissez-passer to me when I was at M13. And after that period, I had frequently seen his handwritings as well. And in 1986, there was another time when I went to see Son Sen. It was after I came back from China. His handwriting at the time was becoming so messy or so complicated, and it made me difficult to read from that time onward. So in summary, I started to recognize his handwriting in 1973 on my laissez-passer.
bien.
Very well. On the last document presented to you, you have stated, if I do understand you correctly, that according to you, it was Nuon Chia's handwriting. Is that something you inferred, or you had a basis for asserting that it was indeed Nguyen Chia's handwriting? And for how long had you known his handwriting?
Your Honor, Brother Nguyen's handwriting was recognized by me since the time he went to supervise me. He never issued a laissez-passer for me, but he sent me the short notes with the name Buon, not Moon at the time. And those notes were received by me after 15 August 1977 up to 6 January 1979. Four short notes with the square handwritings were given to me. That is why I could recognize his handwriting. And a while ago I said it was easy for me to read the big handwriting, and that handwriting belongs to Brother Nguyen. In fact, it was the handwriting on the document does not prove that Son Sen was Nguyen Chia's superior. And the short notes perhaps were with me, and it is now at my house, and those short notes can be the evidence to show that the handwriting belongs to Nguyen Chia.
Thank you for these explanations, said Judge Lavang.
Très bien compris. Qu'est-ce qui est...
I didn't quite understand what you have in your cell. What notes are you referring to?
អរគុណ
Witness, thank you for the question. For clarification, I told the chamber already that Brother Nguyen did not contact me on the telephone communication, and in case of necessary, he would send me short notes with 3 or 4 lines to me as the invitation. From 15 August 1977 up to 6 January 1979, when I pled, he wrote to me 4 short notes or letters, 4 of them perhaps, and some of those small notes are kept by me in a separate folder, and there are clippers, paper clips attached to the folder, so I keep those perhaps 4 notes in the folder, and those notes can be as the evidence to show to the courts Nguyen Chia's handwriting.
Et aujourd'hui, où est ce fichier?
And today, where are those notes?
In fact, the folder was kept by me at my house back in the regime, and I did not bring along when I pled. I only got a pen with me when I pled. And the documents together with those notes at my house had been collected after the regime.
Bien, merci pour ces explications.
Well, thank you for these explanations. I have no further questions for the witness, Mr. President.
អរគុណហើយជាបន្តទៅនេះអមរ
President, I thank you very much. And the floor is now given to the defense team for Mr. Nguyen Chia to put questions to the witness. You may proceed now, counsel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Your Honors. Good morning, counsel. Good morning, Mr. Witness. Let me follow up on this subject. The dates or the time that Son Sen went to the battlefield. It was the subject I was discussing with you last Thursday. It seems that in your testimony there are two crucial dates. One is the 15th of August, 1977, the day Son Sen went to the battlefield, and 25th of November, 1977. That is the date that you said that Son Sen's last signature could be seen. And I believe you concluded that on having read the case file. Now, let's keep those two dates in mind, 15 August and the 25th of November 77. As I said, crucial in your testimony is that Son Sen had left Phnom Penh and was at Nik Lung at the battlefield. Mr. Witness, I would like to start with you reading some excerpts from Radio Phnom Penh, or from the Phnom Penh news service. Mr. President, I'll be referring to some Phoebus reports, of which there are no Khmer and French translations, only English. The first document that I'll be using is E3/143, English ERN 001-68769. It's a report, Mr. Witness, from 28 September 1977. And it's a report about a delegation led by Pol Pot leaving Democratic Kampuchea to go to China. And in this document, it describes the delegation, and it also describes the delegation seeing Pol Pot off at Pochentong Airport. And the delegation seeing Pol Pot leave for China on the 28th of September consists of Comrade Khieu Samphan, Chairman of the State Presidium, Comrade Nguyen Chia, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the Cambodia People's Representative Assembly, Cheng An, Ing Tarit, Mei Prang, Yun Yat, Comrade Savat, and also Son Sen. So, according to this radio report, a broadcast report, Son Sen was saying goodbye to Pol Pot on the 28th of September 1977, and I presume could not have been on that day at the battlefield. Can you give me your reaction?
Mr. President, I would like to respond to the question of Kopea as follows. Once again, I would like to make a clarification for the chamber. The date of 15 August 77 and the date 25th November 1977 were made mentioned clearly by me when I answered the question by Judge Lavan, it was clear at the time. 15 August 1977 was the date when I separated from Brother Sun Sen. From that time onwards, although sometime I had the occasions to see him. And later on, I had seen the signatures of Brother Sun Sen when I was shown the documents in the proceedings case 001 against me. The date, the first date, 15 August 77, was the date when I separated from him, and 25th 11/77 was seen by me on the document when I was shown in the proceedings in case 001 against me. Brother Sun Sen was the member of political bureau of the party center. The distance from Nha Luang to Phnom Penh was about 60 kilometers, and the road condition back then was good. He could come with no difficulty. So Brother Sun Sen could come to Phnom Penh anytime he wanted. And the same happened on the date when he saw Pol Pot off. That was the matter between the party and Brother Sun Sen. To my recollection, Pol Pot went to China on the 27th September 1997, not on the 15th. And I believe that those people came to see Pol Pot off at the time.
Well, Mr. Witness, it wasn't only on the 28th of September that Sun Sen apparently found the time to travel to Phnom Penh. On the 27th of November, 77, the president of Burma visited DK. Mr. President, E3/291, English ERN only, 00168600, describes the visit of His Excellency U Ne Win, President of Burma, and present at the meeting receiving him were Nguyen Chia, Ing Sari, Von Vet, Tune Tune, Yun Yat, others, and again Sun Sen. Can you react to that, please?
Thank you, Counsel. The President of Burma back then was not U Ne Win, to my recollection, and perhaps it was U Mo Mokha, who was the President of Burma. But I will not discuss this issue, the President of Burma. I am now answering the question of Counsel Copper. Sun Sen was the member of the political bureau of the party center. So concerning the secret issue or the visit or or concerning the fact that he came to greet any particular dignitaries, he would come when he was invited from Nha Luang to Phnom Penh, and the distance from that to Phnom Penh was not far.
That's fine. In that same document, E3/291, English ERN only, 001-68605, which relates a radio broadcast on the 29th of November, 2 days later. There, the president of Burma is being said goodbye, and it says that Son Sen and others, quote-unquote, joined the motorcade from the state guest place or palace of to Pochitong Airport, where President Ne Win and the others were greeted. So Son Sen welcomed him and told him goodbye 2 days later, so he was in Phnom Penh for all those days. And it seems he was also in Phnom Penh on the 3rd of December 1977, saying welcome to a very high Chinese delegation. Mr. President, I'm referring now to E3/1339, English ERN only, 00168-316. It's the visit of standing committee member of the Chinese Communist Party, Chen Yong-kui. He's visiting on the 3rd of December, and he's leaving on the 15th of December. And Son Sen is also saying goodbye. So it seems, Mr. Witness, that Son Sen was also in Phnom Penh in December. And he didn't talk to you then, or he didn't visit you? Or
Thank you. Concerning the case that Son Sen came to Phnom Penh under the invitation of 870, it is clear that for all of us. I will not discuss further. Chen Yong-kui was in fact coming to Cambodia, Phnom Penh, and 870 held a special receipt celebration for Chen Yong-kui. Son Sen was the member of Politburo or party member, and he was the deputy prime minister and minister of the national defense. He had the role to come and receive and also see Chen Yong-kui off as the deputy prime minister and minister of national defense.
what I don't understand, Mr. Witness, if it was so easy for Son Sen to travel between Nak Leng and Phnom Penh, why was it that he had transferred his duties to Nuon Chea on the 15th of August 1977?
Brother Son Sen did not hand over the authority to Brother Nuon Chea. Brother Nuon Chea was the second in CPK, and Son Sen was the seventh. After Son Sen had gone to the battlefield, Brother Nuon Chea came to supervise me through Pong. No, it did not. It was not Brother Son Sen transferring the authority to Nuon Chea. Brother Nuon Chea came to supervise me directly. Before that, Son Sen supervised me, and later on, it was Nuon Chea who supervised me. This is the working approaches of 870. Remaining evidence shows that Sun Sen came to Phnom Penh on a frequent basis to finish off the remaining work at S21. I said that because it is due to the contemporaneous signatures of Sun Sen.
Well, let me see about that, Mr. Witness. Because now I would like to refer you to something you said yourself. And in order for you to be able to read exactly what you said, and also to be able to have a look at the documents, I have prepared binders for you. And Mr. President, with your leave, I would like to give the 2 binders to the witness. I will keep updating them with transcripts, and I believe we can also put the various documents on the screen.
Yes, you may do that.
The binder that you now have in your hand consists of the various statements you made yourself. That is a binder we will keep updating, Mr. Witness. Because I would like now to be speaking about a document that was shown to you in your own case, which is called the Last Joint Plan. In E3/1579, that's in your statement to the investigating judges, English ERN 00398206, Khmer 00398197, and French 003982114. Mr. Witness, you are being shown. That's your statement, and in the other binder there is actually the last joint plan, 2 pages of it that I would like to show you. It's tab 3 in the other binder. This is what you said, and let me read it to you. However, another document written by Pon at my request has been found and constitutes a summary report of the networks of traitors. This document was presented by David Chandler in his book about S21 as an quote-unquote ultimate plan, which I am supposed to have drafted. In reality, Pon drafted it upon my orders. The document did not yet have a title, but Ing Pek, the first chairman of the Tulslang Museum, wrote on top of the first page S21 summary report. And then you say the following, and that is important to me. All of this demonstrates that Son Sen still considered himself to be my superior, and I acted the same way. The fact that he called me to the training session, that he asked me to draft this document, and that he continued to deal with security issues by calling me, demonstrate this. Do you recall saying this, Mr. Witness?
I think the defense counsel is still confused about the dates. And allow me to clarify it once again. The document made by Comrade Pon initially was not shown to me by OCP. I saw the title of the document and I was wondering at the time. And that was during the proceedings in case 001. The OCP provided me a copy of a scanned color page. And I was given like 3 minutes to review the document, and it was not my handwriting but Pon's. And I said, yeah, it was Pon's handwriting. So then from that day onward, everyone understood that the document was written by Pon, and I explained that before he left to the front battlefield, he gave instructions to me to prepare a work plan and a report about the enemy's activity in terms of their attempts to destroy security. And I assigned Pon to do that because Pon was assigned to interrogate important prisoners who were former senior cadres of the CPK. I actually made my own report, but it was not finished.
Mr. West, let me interrupt you, because let me take you to that document, the last joint plan, E3/527. And I've printed for you a page from that document. That's Khmer page 002-85387. The English page is 000-69054. And this is an interesting page because it shows that this document was most likely drafted in April 1978 because it actually includes that month. It also, on Khmer page 002-85393, and English page 000-69057, refers to incoherent incriminations against Sao Pim, Runim, and Bang Si, Brother C. So it seems that the last joint plan was ultimately, or at the last moment drafted, at the latest moment drafted in April 78. You're saying that Son Sen ordered you to write this, and that this document demonstrates that he considered himself to be still your superior. Is that correct?
This document was not produced in a day. It could not be produced in a day's time. I did not know how many months it took Pons to produce a final version of this document. And Ho wrote on the last page that it was on the 12th of July 78. So allow me to confirm that it was an incremental compilation made by Pon.
Well, I'm not giving up yet, Mr. Witness. In that same WRI E3/1579, you also speak about Comrade Pin, who came to a study session in a wheelchair because his car had been blown up by a mine. Do you remember when it was that Comrade Pin came to a study session during which Son Sen was also present? He came in a wheelchair after his vehicle had been blown up by a mine. Do you remember when that was?
Can you please specify which study session and which year, since I do not have the document with me?
Well, you referred in your own WRI to an education session during which you said it was the last time you saw Son Sen. And you remember that at this education session, Comrade Pin was present, but that Comrade Pin had come in a wheelchair because his car had been hit by a mine. My question to you is, do you recall when this education that Son Sen attended took place?
I recall about that study session, although I do not recall the date. And comparing it to the 15th August, it is likely that that study session happened after the 15th August. And in 1978, I no longer attend any study session with Son Sen. In fact, in 1978, I attended study session with Brother Paul. And in 1977, it was with Son Sen. So it is possible that at that time 870 assigned Son Sen to open a study session at the general staff. However, regarding Brother Pin, it seems that he actually had gone to the battlefield before Brother Kiel went.
Let me interrupt you, and then I'll finish because it's almost time, Mr. President. Is it possible, or do you remember whether Brother Pin was injured in around or just before 8 April 1978?
I do not recall that. I did not know about that date. But in fact, Brother Pin had his car stepped on a mine and it exploded. So he got injured and he could not walk for a while, and he came to the study session on a wheelchair. But I do not recall the date of the training session by the general staff, and usually it did not happen in April or March, but it happened usually around July. So first, Pol Pot would have a study sessions amongst those members of the Central Committee, and then the committee members would conduct further study sessions among their subordinates.
Just for completeness' sake, Mr. President, I was, in relation to the date of 8th of April 1978, I was referring to document E3/1117, English ERN 00434870, which seems to suggest that just before 8th of April, Comrade Pin was injured by an anti-tank mine.
Thank you, Counsel. It is now time for a short break. We take a break now and resume at 25 to 11. Court officer, please assist the witness at the waiting room reserved for witnesses and civil parties during break time and invite him back into the courtroom at 25 to 11. The court is now in recess.